What up, Ree? How you doing? Hello, everyone. Just gonna get chat set up, and then we're gonna rip. There we go. What's going on, gamers? How the homies doing? Ooh, that's the wrong link. These guys. Hey, what's up, cousin? How you doing, homie? What's up, J-Rad? Saved you from doom scroll. Saving myself from doom scrolling. I think we're just gonna get underway. I mean, I have nothing, no setup to do, no preamble. I'm gonna hard cut myself off by 2 p.m. today, so... Oh, I don't have any daily members. No daily members so far today. That's just from yesterday. Oh, I'm not supposed to hit the button, and the timers are goobed. Hold on, let me get the other timers. Hold on. Can you give me the other one? Oh my lord, hold on. This is so sad. The Flowtimers need to... There we go. All right. There's like, it's when there's like 2 objects in OBS, you're just like goobing around until you find, because it's just like there's 2 Flowtimers build 48, and it's like I'm just sitting there like a goober. Let's continue the Flowtimer. Oh, my Flowtimer's fully crashed. Okay, I see what the problem is. Let's open up live split again. Splits. It was like 3 hours 40. It's a bad run. Oh, we're gonna reset that. All right, what a disastrous start. Let's go back. Let's go back to the first song. I'll try again. All right. And then we will actually, I don't know where the live split is. Oh, there it is. Okay. What's up, Naum? What's up, Pokeroo? What starter am I picking? I am picking Totodile. It is my, well, FRLG is my favorite Pokemon, so. Is my favorite Pokemon by far, so I will be picking that. I'm hoping for a Mega, but I'll settle for a regional variant. Well, actually, I guess a regional variant would be better because it'd be more guaranteed to be in further games. But because like whenever so far whenever a Pokemon is in a game, the regional variant is always in it, right? Like if they ever include Slowbro in a game, Galarian Slowbro is now also in it because the way they categorize Pokemon is by dex number, which is kind of a weird way to do it, I guess, but that's okay. And so if there's a regional FRLG, that would get included every single time. Whereas a FRLG that is, you know, Mega FRLG, Megas are clearly, they don't want them in every single title. But I think I personally am more interested in having more Megas than I am in having more regional variants. What are you guys? What is the, what are you hoping for? regional variants for the new Pokemon, megas for the new Pokemon. I think I was like 1 TV late. That's like 1 TV, like 10 early. So we could just do another attempt and then we'll see. We'll see where I'm sitting. I was with seed late too, so that's not. Gotta be a little more precise. YouTube censors me again. Good luck, gamer. How did YouTube censor you? What? I can see your message. Mega and Legends variants and convert. I mean, converging, I don't super care about. I'm actually a little confused why convergence weren't just regional variants, to be honest with you. I feel like there's a lot of overlap there. Like, why is Toadscool a new Pokemon? I guess it's because they gave it a different name. What? I didn't hear the beep. Like, to me, they're very similar. They really wanted to hit 1,000. I'm actually pretty positive they, like, don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure the reason, like, we get less and less Pokemon each time is, and the reason we're getting a lot of games like Legends Arceus is because they want to minimize how many Pokemon that we have. There's too many. You can set up an Andrino robotic hand to do the timing instead of spending a lot of time. Yes, I made a whole video about how I did that, actually. And Polty? Polty's a regional variant, isn't it? Timers from yesterday, yeah. So, like, the reason I don't just use an Arduino or use, like, a bot every single run is because it's, like, one of the coolest parts about RNG manipulation for me is that I can do all of this stuff with no assistance from anything. I don't need an action replay. I don't need a hack. I don't need anything. I just need my meat hands controlling digital game. That's my thing, right? That's the main thing that I have access to. And so to me, it's like, I'm not just, so like, if I was just doing RNG manipulation for the end result and I didn't care about playing the game, I would just be hacking, oops. Oh, well, hold on, I forgot to calculate. I would just be hacking Pokemon in, right? But I'm not just in it for the end result. I'm in it for the gameplay. I think having the game is fun. So, yeah. If that makes sense, right? Like, I do these things because they are fun for me and they're interesting and they're unique. This is a really horrible Zapdos. I was on seed. I was like 2 TVs late. All right, we'll do one more without calibrating and then we'll figure out my new timing. Ben 10, what's up? I'm having a nice stream, Lemmy. Thank you very much for asking. I'm working on a relative to Chikorita for my fake monster at the moment. I think the idea of Pokemon that are no relatives to others sounds fun. I do think that they sound fun. No, so like for my perspective, I feel like they have done the convergent evolution before. Like, to me, a lot of the stuff in Gen 5 is very similar to what they were doing with convergent evolution, right? Like, I think they have been doing this thing where they riff on Pokemon like all the time, and it's just like, why? Like, convergent evolution, that's a fan name? That's not an official term, is it? Any chance you'll try Coliseum? I mean, I've done tons of Coliseum stuff before. I was the first person who wasn't Japanese to RNG the Coliseum Raikou. I was one of the first people to do it. I probably think I was like within the first 5 people to get that manip done when it came out. What song is this? It's the 11th hour, or excuse me. It is from the Adventure Zone. It's part of the soundtrack of that show. And the song is called No Dogs on the Moon. What up, Topaz? I don't really have any videos that are like up to date. All of my Coliseum videos are really old. That is the case, wouldn't it be? Sinisty. Oh, I typed something wrong. 159. How's them ribs I made a few streams back? You'd have to ask Hefe or my wife. I do not eat meat, but they were very tender. I could tell when I cut them for serving. I cut them and the fucking knife just fell through it like butter. They were very tender. Okay. I think this is like 1 TV early. Okay. I'm pretty consistent on seed, but I want to see where I'm landing on the TVs. Make a new video. Problem with Coliseum is the Coliseum fans are yappers. They are the #1 people who will be like, make a video on Coliseum, do it. And then like when I finish making the video and I post it, like nobody shows up. They get no views. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll make tutorials. But for now I'm not going to. There are guides out there if you can look, if you know where to look. And in my Discord there are plenty of people who will help. Oh my gosh. Can you trade Pokemon from Coliseum Switch 2 on Pokemon Home? Nobody knows. The Switch, you gotta wait till the Switch 2 comes out. I would suspect no. I would suspect that you cannot do that. The old, because my thought process is because they also made my thought process is that they also made Pokemon Stadium have no connectivity. When I don't think it would have been too hard for them to do connectivity in Stadium. Well, what am I doing with Battle Revolution? I was a seed early. But pretty close. All right. Next time I'm on seed, I'll calibrate. I'll adjust. Thanks for being the English pioneer for accessibility. I've done a ton of RNGing over the last couple of months in Colo at Gen 3. Thank you, Raisin. Appreciate you. Is it just timing down right? Yeah, so it's triple frame perfect. So the initial seed is determined by when I press A here. Or at the title screen. Or it's it's when you continue on the title screen. We used to only use A. Now we can use multiple different buttons. We can use start, we can use A, we can use L. I'm using start in this specific instance. So this is a 60 frame per second timer, specifically 59.65555. So here I'm hitting start, and then we're continuing. And now we're gonna open TGTV to cause the RNG to move 313 times the usual speed. You don't have to time it specifically when you open it, but you have to close TGTV at the exact correct time. So here we go. So I'm closing that. That's another 60 frame per second target. And then the last one is when I speak to Zapdos. Now, the reason I'm keeping the start menu up is because some of the NPC, it's just, you keep it more consistent by keeping the start menu up. So I just closed it on the 5th beep. And so it's triple frame perfect, 3 consecutive inputs that are 1/60th of a second. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of coming, like, an official name for, like, the phenomena that is convergent evolution in so far as, like, Toad School and stuff. And the reason that I'm not a huge fan of it is because it's like, okay, you don't think Bouffalant or Alomomola or Conkeldurr count as convergent evolution? Like, so for me, I don't know. I think it should count, but yeah, and convergent and regional also, well, regional, I think there is a different idea between convergent and regional. Regional is a Pokemon. Ooh, we didn't find anything. I don't like that we didn't find anything. You are hasty, right? 164, 97. I didn't type all the stats. Convergent, so regional variants are something like you had a Cantonian Mr. Mime, and then when they brought Mr. Mime to the Galar region, Mr. Mime started living in tundra areas and became an ice type over however long, over a long time. Convergent evolution is supposedly two creatures that took the same form despite no connectivity with the other region. So the idea is Toadstool evolved independently of Tentacruel. They had no relation to each other at all, and that's why they're fully, I don't know, that's why they're fully different type, but they had nothing to do with each other, and they evolved to have the same form. The idea is something like carcinogenation. I don't know what the word is, but it's the idea that there is like an evolutionary advantage to a specific shape, so multiple unrelated species evolve into that shape. So there's a lot of creatures that evolve to look like crabs, despite the fact that they do not have anything evolutionarily related to crabs. Right? That's the idea. Yeah, it's just some mushroom that happens to look like a jellyfish. Game Freak has no budget to create new designs. This is why we got Convergent. That's not true. You're so silly when you say things like that. Game Freak has... Listen to the thing that you said, man. Game Freak has no budget to create new designs. Like, why are you assigning... So first of all, the thing you're assigning to them, you're assigning by default that Game Freak isn't interested in trying in new designs, right? Your base assumption here is Game Freak is being lazy with the designs, therefore they're not trying, right? But it's like there's tons of new, unique, clever designs in Gen 9. There's a ton of new Pokemon in Gen 9 that are brand new. You're also assuming that they haven't been reused. Like, you're assuming they didn't just come up with Toadstool because it's like a funny, silly idea. Because I think Toadstool is a funny, silly idea. I actually prefer Toadstool to a lot of regional variants because it's got a unique name, it's got a fun name. And like a lot of regional variants are just like, it's Galarian X, Galarian Meowth, blah, blah, you know. I'm not saying every one of them is a hitter, but I'm saying, like, to me, there's no reason to assume laziness. Like, they've been doing regional variants for a while, and this is very similar to that. They refuse to hire more than 200 people to pump out games. Well, I don't think it's, you can't just, money cannot buy you time, right? So it doesn't matter if Game Freak has 400 people, right? It doesn't matter if Game Freak has 1,000 people on staff. It won't matter, because the problem isn't that there's not a lot of people, right? The problem is that they are not given the time required to make video games. That is the issue. They're just not given enough time. A game like Mario, a game like Zelda, a game like Elden Ring, these games are given like 6-7 years to be made, sometimes longer. Pikmin 4, I think they announced development of Pikmin 4 in like 2014 or 2015 or something. That came out like 9 years after it was announced. Like some obscene amount of time, bro. It's like you cannot buy time. It doesn't matter if you have the most talented team of artists, developers, programmers in the world. It doesn't matter. You don't have enough time to make it. Who cares? Just look at Gen 1 Pokemon, they're all minimalistic compared to something like Miraidon. I can draw a Mewtwo without looking at the picture. There are plenty of simplistic Pokemon. Like, it just depends on what you're talking about. Like, I would argue that Goldengo is an extremely plain Pokemon. Like, there is a certain elegance in having minimalistic designs, but there's also value in having more complicated design. Like there isn't, you can't just look at design and go simple always equal better, right? I like Zapdos a lot. It's a simple design. It's a bit goofy when you look at Zapdos. Right? It is just pointy bird with long beak. I actually think its Galarian form is significantly better than this form in terms of design. This is a silly looking Pokemon, right? I think simplicity does not benefit Zapdos necessarily. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's like a peak design of, like, if you look at I look at Zapdos and I'm like, I like Zapdos. But I don't look at Zapdos and go, this is a peak design. This is one of my favorite design Pokemons of all time. Right? Some of these Pokemon are too plain. Spearow is hardly different than a real life creature. Like, I think Spearow's fine. I don't have a problem with Spearow. I'm not gonna complain, but Spearow is literally too simple. Like, it's just too plain. There's not like too much about it. And I think that if Pokemon only kept doing, I would argue the base Pokemon formula is like normal animal plus fantastical feature equals Pokemon. And if they kept doing that, like, they're gonna run out of stuff eventually, I think. I think I have to adjust my seat. I'm just getting too early. What's my target frame? How do you feel about Flamigo? Oh, Flamigo's another Flamigo. Very simple design. I think it's too simple. I think Flamigo does not have enough going on. It's like but like, I feel the same way about Fearow and Spearow. They're like too similar to regular birds. Peak design. I don't know. My favorite Pokemon aren't necessarily peak. My favorite Pokemon aren't necessarily like the Pokemon that I think are peak designed. I like a lot of the sillier designs, if I'm honest with you. I really like Alolan Exeggutor. Great. I really like Alolan Exeggutor. I really like Orbeetle. I think it's hilarious. I love Orbeetle. I like pretty silly designs. Suicune might be one of my favorite looking Pokemon. I love Suicune in general, and I think its design is really, really good. Flamigo looks like a boxing glove. Investigating. I don't agree, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't agree. It's like kind of there. To me, it looks more like a balloon animal with the tied knot on its neck. Well, remember, Pokemon aren't always based on animals on purpose. There's lots of inanimate object Pokemon, which I like a lot as well. Hey, Blisy, just want to say a big thank you. Just finished my Shiny Living Dex on Emerald. Thanks for your video. Is very cool, William. By the way, gamers, we have 101 viewers, but only 23 likes. If you guys are having a good time, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. Oh, I fucked up. What's a triple frame perfect Zapdos? I'll show you. I have to plug my DS in. Here, hold on. DS requires charger. Alright, so. Triple frame perfect. So a typical Gen 3 RNG in Pokemon Emerald, right? Let's say that. There's one timer and it beeps once, right? So what it does is it beeps when you're about to get to the Pokemon and you hit A to do the encounter. Now in Fire and Leaf Green, the typical Pokemon is actually 2 frame perfect inputs. 2 inputs just like one Emerald Pokemon. And that's because you have to RNG manipulate the seed at the title screen. So right here, I'm hitting start when the first timer ends. Then I'm going to open up the TGTV. When the TGTV timer ends, I have to close B, same precision, 1/60th of a second. That is frame number 2. So I have to hit it with B to close it. And then the last thing I have to do is talk to the Zapdos with frame perfect precision. And so there's 3 inputs consecutively that are 1/60th of a second that I have to time out. And the reason is because the Zapdos would be too far away otherwise for me to reach. It would be like an hour wait or something like that. And by the time I'm done waiting for it, you know, I'm not going to wait 1 hour for a 1/60th of a second timing window. And so what I do is I increase the difficulty by using TGTV to allow me to get the Zapdos. So it's like doing 3 Emerald Wild RNGs back to back, and I can't miss any of them, or else it's considered a failure. That's what it's like. TGTV moves the RNG 313 times as fast as usual. Most are based on Japanese mythological deities and creatures. I don't think that's quite true. I think that the idea in Japan is that I think it's like a common Japanese myth that like an object can just come to life. given enough time. It's kind of like their concept of ghosts. Opening the TV is not frame perfect. That's because I can just open the TV when I click start on this timer. Right? It doesn't matter when the RNG is advanced at 313 times the usual speed. What matters is that it is... What matters is that it is open for the same duration every single time. I'm just gonna try again. There are no frame advancements happening in the power plant. I'm actually not sure if Zapdos is spinning. Zapdos could be spinning. I could open advanced map right now, actually. Let me check advanced map. There could be frame advancements happening in the power plant, but that would only be from like electrodes. Oh, fuck. I fucked up. No, Zapdos does not spin. Zapdos' movement type is look down. So the only spinners in aka causing random advancements would be the Pokeballs moving around. I don't think they're NPC in any of the bird's lair except Moltres. Incorrect. All Pokeball items on the ground, those are NPCs that are in the movement type of look around, spinning randomly, even though they don't have an animation for it. So if you don't pick up all the items off the ground, they can interfere. It is hard. There's Salamence sets that are independent of Dragon Dance. You could run Choice Band. You could run Mixed Salamence, where you're running like Dragon Claw and some other stuff. And alternatively, if you do want Dragon Dance, Hidden Power Flying, you can actually RNG that from Pokemon XD. In Pokemon XD, even though it's not an egg, you can get Dragon Dance from that one. Whoa, what seed is that? No, this field was some like custom insane shit. I gotta lock in. By the way, gamers, if you're enjoying the stream, you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting the like button. It's free. It helps me out in the algo. I'm trying to get back into streaming consistently. And if you haven't, consider becoming a channel member. You get behind the scenes content, you get uploaded videos early, you get access to a bunch of emoji, channel members if you want to spam some of your favorite emoji. And you get access to a special chat in my Discord where I type stuff. And it's only $1.99 a month if you want to be a channel member. TGTV is like the hardest RNG like of all time, maybe. There are RNG manips that are like maybe harder, but it's for like bad reasons, I guess. What's up, Lappy? I think this is more difficult than Pokewalker. It just depends on what you're fine. That's why I said they're difficult for other reasons. So like Pokewalker is hard because of you know, obvious reasons. I think this is 1 frame late, isn't it? 331s. It's gonna be 1 late. Could be a different seed. Yep, I was exactly 1 frame late. God damn it. Nope, no adjustment needed. So like so with Pokewalker is hard for 2 reasons, I would say. If you're not using the PDA thing to get all your watts, you have to first walk enough steps to get the Pokemon you want to appear. Then you have to have enough watts on your Pokewalker to repeatedly spam and send Pokemon over until you hit the target advance that you want. And that takes a long fucking time. It takes a really long time. So I would say one of the challenges of Pokewalker is that you have to have, I would say, like a whole day to do it, depending on your target, right? I would say the second thing that makes Pokewalker RNG manip difficult, unless anything has changed, it's technically a little bit random if you receive your target or not, right? You can miss your target because one of the transfers did too many, right? And so I would say those are things that make it difficult, but that is not the difficulty I enjoy compared to something like TGTV, right? Whereas the difficulty, and it's similar with Coliseum, right? I've actually had the dev of the new Coliseum tool multiple times say that Raikou is not difficult. I missed the seed. And it's like, and he had a problem with me referring to it as difficult. And it's like, in principle, Raikou isn't that hard because like it's just 1/60th of a second timing window like Gen 3, and then Blink is a pretty lenient window. It's like a 5 or 10 frame window or something at like 30 FPS, I think. So it's not like either one of those in a vacuum isn't too difficult. And in fact, even back to back Blink into continuous consumption RNG is not that difficult. The thing I think that makes Raikou difficult, and I think was worth talking about, is that if you want to get a specific Pokemon with like a specific shiny, you are either going to have to spend several hours resetting for your seed, or you're going to have to spend a little while resetting for your seed, but then waiting, literally just waiting on Moltres advances several hours until that gets you close. And so you're at best getting one attempt every like 3 to 5 hours, which to me is not easy. That is tedious. That is a long amount of time. It's not difficult in the same way, and same with Pokewalker, they're not difficult in the same way that this is, where you have to hit 360 frame per second timers in a row. But if you don't have a lot of patience, or you don't hold up well under pressure, or you do not like resetting for the seed over and over again, then I would say that qualifies as difficult. So like for me, I label them as difficult. You could say, oh, your definition of difficult is different than mine, therefore it's wrong. And I would say, well, that's kind of valid. I prefer to crockpot my RNG. I think the reason I couldn't crockpot mine was because there was no good Spiritome options. If you don't care about sets, whenever I'm saying Raikou is hard or a Pokemon in Coliseum is hard, I'm never talking about getting a simple one that's just shiny with random stats. I'm always referring to a Pokemon getting it 5 perfect IVs and shiny and aiming for a specific seed. I'm always referring to aiming for a specific seed. That is always what I'm doing. Because I think there's no point in aiming for a non-specific seed for my perspective. I agree, if you're just going for a quick random one, it's not that tough. That might be too early. Because the thing is, if you're going for quick stats, there are things that make it a little bit more difficult, because they, like, just going for quick stats, your results will be a little bit less consistent because you're not using the same seed every time. But you are you get a lot more attempts. You get attempts like this, and so like the more free, like if in Coliseum I was on seed, I was 1 TV late. If in Coliseum you could guarantee your initial seed to be whatever you wanted every single time you booted the console, I would actually agree that Raikou is not hard. To me, it's the resetting for the seed and the waiting that is so fucking miserable. They're miserable. Did you figure out how to do shiny hunting on emulators? I mean, what? I don't like, what? I don't like to play on emulator. It's not good. Yeah, I mean, I agree. But generally, Pascal, I'd still consider waiting hours and resetting is still difficult. It's just a different type of difficulty, right? Been waiting for some sort of video of you talking about Champions Competitive. I don't know if I have much to say about it. The thing is that I think they need to reveal more for me to say much. Dude, I know, Lappy. I actually feel just like a piece of shit. Oh, fuck. I minimized them. If it's any... if it's any consolation, I am getting closer to being able to do it. Because... I've been making more videos on single Pokemon. And I've, like, ironed out a formula on how I would want to tell a story like the Pokewalker. I actually might just do a different Pokemon besides Spirit Tome. Rather than reuse my footage. Because I've made 2 videos about individual Pokemon, right? I did Ursaluna, and I did a video on the Magmar. So I think part of my problem with Spirit Tome is I don't think that, like, there's enough use for it. So I need to find a video. I don't think I could ever do the Enamorous. Maybe I'll just start doing Enamorous over months. But I was 2 frames late. I was too late. Damn. I was on seed 2 frames late. That's it. I'm trying to think, like... I need to know who would be a good... Like, is there a competitive move? Is there a move exclusive to the Pokewalker? The only one I know of is Munchlax. And actually, we do know now that you can send Pokemon from a Japanese Pokewalker to an English game, right? Trying to find let me look in Winter's Path. What's going on? Oh, bounce. Wait, how does Magikarp get bounce? Bounce Magikarp might low-key be it. Is that just a move tutor move, though? I don't think that's Pokewalker. I think it is. I think you're right. I think it's tutor. Because no way everybody was running Bounce Gyarados if it was only from Pokewalker. I don't know if you've seen Gen 2 RNG, but I got it. You got a shiny Celebi with RNG without custom firmware. I mean, it might literally just be self-destruct Munchlax. How else can you get Snorlax with self-destruct? Is it a tutor in Gen 3? You can get it with self-destruct, right? But it just comes with it from XD, right? It's not a tutor in XD, it's from XD, right? Or is it a tutor? Yeah, but that Snorlax is also, like, not RNGable. Is it... Can it get... Didn't you build a self-destruct Snorlax? You might be right. You might be right. Oh, I didn't count. Yeah, it is single use in XD. I think you're right, actually. There is some validity to using Winner's Path, then. It's repeatable, right? What up, Undead? I might be early on that seed. What is Rally? Oh, Rallies where Surf Pikachu is, maybe? We'll go one more, then I'll catch. Let's take a look. Alright, we'll catch this one, see what's going on here. I'm trying to see... Where is Surf Pikachu even? Of course is that? Oh, Yellow Forest. Yeah, so I'm like trying to figure out... This song will not be found by the Shazam app, I don't think. The current song playing is Burning Depth from Sonic, Sega, and All-Stars Racing. We're on seed but late on the TV. But you can't trade can't trade up the Surfing Pikachu from Gen 4, right? It doesn't let you trade Pokemon with HMs up? Or is that only Gen 3 into Gen 4? Going to the TGTV causes the RNG to advance at 313 times the usual speed. Damn. Can't you get a Surfing Pikachu from PBR? Yeah, because it just makes it a wonder card. It just gives it a wonder card to the Gen 4 game. So, but maybe it has a locked nature or something. What's the Pikachu? Pikachu. What does the Pikachu have? Pikachu does come with Surf. It is hardy nature though, so you can't do it actually. So this is probably the best one to get a good Pikachu. What's up, Uruki? Usually I would get a Pokemon. I would either trade it. I mean, transfer moves are still applicable up to Gen 8, first of all. But most of the time it's for the game, the gen that they're in, unless it's like a different. Like there's a valuable Pokemon, like let's say like I'm interested in doing a competitive Gen 7 team and I need soft-boiled Clefable for that gen, right? It'd be like that. It goes well. We're pretty close. I'm like pretty consistently only a little bit off. Have I eaten today? I don't think I have. By the way, gamers, if we are having a good time, please consider hitting the like button or becoming a channel member. Hitting the like button's free. It helps me out in the algo. We got 135 people here, but only 58 likes. You tell me half you guys don't like me? And then becoming a channel member, you get a bunch of emoji. You get access to my videos early before they release. You get access to behind the scenes content and a special chat in my Discord. You can become a member for as low as $1.99 a month. It's cheaper than a Twitch subscription. Or you could be, you could give a super chat. Super chats you could also do as low as $1.99 a month. Just a little dono through YouTube. That's Jotaro's theme from the Diamonds Unbreakable. Do champions let you keep... Nobody knows anything about champions, unfortunately. So strange that Togetic is not able to learn soft-boiled. That is very funny. It's like, why? I'm gonna buy a Switch 2? Yep. Of course. Switch 2 is a business expense for me. I require it to do my job. I heard have I ever heard of Archipelago? No, I don't know what that is. Is it a game engine? And you've just been like remaking an engine you're familiar with in it? Well, thanks to Donald Trump's tariffs, we now cannot pre-order the Switch, and all businesses are going to rise the cost of things, regardless of if the actual cost goes up, so that they can push the cost to the consumer and blame tariffs. Very cool. Very cool thing that's happening in my country. Premise is pretty much randomizer for an arbitrary number of interlinked games. No, that sounds pretty cool. I've been really wanting into get into like game development, but I am just too, there's something about it that I can't get myself to start correctly. I'm like too anxious of myself. I actually do not like the Metroid Prime games at all. I really like 2D Metroid. The standard Metroid games, they're fucking amazing. They're some of my favorite games I've ever played. But the Prime games, I feel like they fail to capture the essence of what makes Metroid good. What was his nature? Yeah, Metroid Dread is one of my favorite games ever made. In fact, I really like all of the 2D Metroids almost equally. Ironically, Super is one of my less enjoyable games. Right? I think if I had to pick a favorite Metroid, it's Dread for sure, and then probably Zero Mission. Zero Mission has the fun controls of and like weightiness of Samus that Fusion had, but it has like an actual freedom of exploration that Fusion does not. Then after that, I actually really like Metroid 2 on the Game Boy a lot. It's just a fun game. It's a slow pace. It's a little bit slow paced, but I really love Game Boy games. And so it's just fun to play. After that, it's probably, I would probably say Metroid Fusion. Oh, I fucking forgot to. Or Metroid, the remake on the 3DS. I do really like the remake on the 3DS. I just think it's too long. It is a long video game. And then it's probably Fusion and then Super. Really, the only thing I don't like about Super Metroid is the controls feel clunky to me. I don't like select to switch your weapon. Is really like, yeah, that's the main thing I don't like about it, quite frankly. No, that was late on the seed. Super Metroid is good. I really like the exploration in it. The infinite wall jumps are awesome. I love being able to just go to different areas. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is excellent, but Hollow Knight is a game that I have just not replayed yet. I played it once and I loved it, and then I've never replayed it because it's a lot. Yo, thank you for the 5 Australian dollars. Appreciate you, homie. $5. Everybody send some Blisy love. My first, so I actually got, have I played AM2R? Yes, but I don't love it. I have to replay it. I actually think both Metroid 2 remakes are worse. I think both Metroid 2 remakes are worse than the original. Neither of them are as good as the original, in my opinion. So, first of all, I got into Metroid in like it was like the year, like, it's like 2016 or 2017. I think it was 2017, and I got into them because of the Geek Critiques video series. If you don't know of the YouTuber, the Geek Critique, he makes excellent, like, critical and analytical content on video games. Highly recommend. Love the Geek Critique. Really excellent videos. And I played the games in order, kind of. I did not play NES Troid. That game looked awful. So I played Metroid Zero Mission. I played Metroid Zero Mission, then Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. Then Metroid, Super Metroid, then Fusion. And then I went and I played the 2 remakes, which was AM2R and the other one. And I've still to this day never played NES Troid for more than like 5 minutes. And so my favorite was Zero Mission for a really long time. Zero Mission was just a truly excellent game. It's the open world nature of it is really fun. Yeah, the story is actually pretty good too. It's just a good game. I like it a lot. My problem with AM2R is it feels like the Metroid bosses. Oh, that was not right. The Metroid bosses I didn't think were as good in AM2R. I found all of the fights extremely frustrating. They ate so many goddamn missiles, and they dodged so frequently, and the fights, like, they weren't interactive. Your first was Dread, so if going back will feel like a slug in comparison. No, it won't. So going back to the 3DS one will feel very similar. That game is going to be very similar to Dread. The only difference is it doesn't have the speed booster. The counter's a little worse in that game, but you don't use it anyway, really, in my opinion. You just have to use it on like some sections in bosses, basically. Then the GBA Metroid games, which are Fusion and Zero Mission, those games are also very quick and crunchy games. They're different. They are not the same as the ones by the Spanish company at Mercury Steam. Not similar at all. But they're still very good, like, weighty, crunchy games. They're very different, though. I like them a lot. The one that will feel sluggish is Super, in my opinion. Super is a game I think you just have to get used to the controls or something, because, yeah. And contrary to a lot of things, I don't dislike Samus, like how weirdly floaty she is in that game. Don't dislike that at all. Nintendo DK or Rare DK? I do like Donkey Kong Country, the first one, a lot. But I would have to say the retro DK, Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze are so good. No, because I think the Metroid 2 game is better than the remakes. I think they just don't quite adapt it correctly. I think taking the idea that the Metroid encounters... So, like, I think they just remade the game wrong. So, in Metroid 2, fighting the Metroids, the bosses themselves... That was not the hard part of that game. The hard part is exploring to find them is not easy. It takes a long time to find them. And then after that, the terrain in which you fight them in is ever changing. So I think the mistake both remakes did was make each Metroid boss a hard and lengthy fight. Like, to me, that's not something that you want. You don't want that, in my opinion. I think you want the Metroids to just be slightly beefier regular enemies, except if you want the Omegas to be tough fights. And, like, I think Metroid AM2R, I think, is worse, because I think the bosses take a long time. I think the bosses take a long time in AM2R, and I think they're not interesting. Like, the boss fights in AM2R are not fun, and they take a really long time, and they're snooze fests. And, like, yes, they take a long time in Samus Returns, and that does kind of hamper the pacing of the game a little bit. But on the plus side, in the Samus Returns, the Metroid fights are actually interesting for the most part. They are all pretty tough boss fights that are engaging to play around in. I really like the Zeta fights in Samus Returns specifically. I actually think that's a good way to make the Metroid bosses harder, is fighting multiples, but I think the boss fights in Samus Returns is by far the best part of that game. Mercury Steam is really good at making really good bosses. Ridley in that game is fucking amazing. Ridley is one of the best damn boss fights in the whole series. The fucking Digger robot is also one of the best damn fights in the whole series. And then obviously Dread knocks the boss fights out of the park. Dread is like unbelievable, obviously. Doi, right? All right, we'll do one more without calibrating. Dread is an improvement on Returns in like every conceivable way, I think. I liked Samus Returns. I've played it 3 times. I played it on normal, hard, and fusion, but I didn't 100% it. Dread, I have beaten so many times. I've beaten Dread like 8 times or 9 times or something like that. I keep playing. If they port Samus Returns to the Switch, that would be so gas. Oh my god. Yeah, you put that game in the Dread engine with the improved counter and improved controls. Ugh, that'd be amazing. I fucked up. You fucked up. I will be right back. I'm gonna make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Don't go anywhere, please. I'll be back in 2 minutes with a sandwich for lunch. And I'll take my water cup with me. My pocket bowl. You don't get my pocket. Wow, nobody left. I'm so proud of you guys. How many 31 IVs are we talking about? All of them. Do you think Samus is the most redesigned Nintendo character? No. I mean, I would say, like, you know, Link gets a new design in every fucking Zelda game. Samus doesn't get really a new design. She just has different suits. I mean, I really like the GBA Metroid games. Like, I really, really, really like Fusion and Zero Mission. Zero Mission was my favorite. The only thing I think Dread is missing is more freedom. I don't know why. But the director and producer of those games, I forget his name. He's the one who made Other M. He just like, is his name Sakamoto? He just like seems to not like them being more open and more free to get lost. I don't know what his fucking deal is. But like, one of the best parts about Zero Mission for me I was 3 advances late. Alright, I'm at this point, I'm consistently late on Zapdos when I hit my seed and TB. Do 10. Sakamoto was not the director of all of the games. I don't think. He was involved in most of the games. I don't think he was involved in Metroid 2 at all. About how? They made Melee. Great company. I'm investigating Sakamoto, what his credits were in each game. So he was just a designer in Metroid. He was the director of Super Metroid. So he invariably had a lot of control over Super Metroid. Man, he was the director of Fusion and Zero Mission. Okay. And he made a bunch of WarioWare games. What's up, Dark Zell MC? This one's grape jelly, but I like both. I love Wario Land. Okay, so it would take me 16. I could never get into Shake It. It's such a pretty game, but every time I try to play it, I just get bored. I don't know if the level design's bad or I'm just like old or something, but like Wario Land 2 and 3 are 2, 3, and 4 are some of my favorite games ever. Four is the best one, I think. 152. Wrong HP. What if I was you and just, well, it depends on what you have access to. I think it's fine to just start with Dread. Dread is my favorite one. But if you want to start with Metroid and you have access to GBA games, I think Zero Mission's the best starting point. It's the start of the story. So it's like a remake of the first game, and it's a very, very good video game. I think the only problem with Metroid Zero Mission is Mother Brain is like too difficult in like a way that is not enjoyable. And then after you beat Zero Mission, there's a million different ways to play Metroid 2. And so it depends on what you like. I think just play one of the Metroid 2s. I think you can't go wrong. I've like been a bit negative on AM2R, but it's still a good game. But I think you should play the Metroid games in order for the most part. The games have... Metroid is a weird series because... For Nintendo anyway. Because... the games have like an actual through line story. Metroid 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The plot of those games is a single connected story. So yeah. Zero Mission is a very easy game, but not in a bad way. Yeah, I don't think it's hard. It gets, I think hard mode is really hard. Wait, you had trouble with Robo Ridley? Isn't Robo Ridley like specifically really easy? Prime Trilogy on one side and main story. The Prime Trilogy takes place between Metroid 1 and 2. Dude, the hardest part of hard mode on Metroid Zero Mission is literally the two elite warriors before the escape pod. That shit is ridiculous if you're doing low percent. I never get like any of the items, by the way, when I do. That's my favorite way to play Metroid games, is to do low item percent, where I like collect 0 fucking items. I collect basically just the ones that are mandatory for the story, that like you need to be able to do. And so that's my only big gripe with Metroid Dread, is that every upgrade, not every, but a lot of the upgrades are, too many upgrades are mandatory, I would argue. You can skip a decent amount of the end game ones. Like, oftentimes I end up skipping Space Jump. I usually only get, I was on frame, but 1 seed late. Yes, that's what I do as well, Kazan. The thing about the Metroid Prime games is they're really bad, so... That's not fair. Yo, thank you for the 10 bucks, Alfred. How were you introduced to RNG manips and what were your first targets? I love you. Thank you. I was introduced to RNG manips through these Smogon text guides and videos from BearsFan092. And my first target was a shiny perfect IV Oshawott. What hot take? I don't necessarily disagree. They're all right, but the 2D games are far better. For me, the Prime games are really, really slow. Like, one of the cool things about Metroid is that if I want to 100% a Metroid game, I can go to every single area and find all the items and do that, right? But also, if I want to be a fucking goblin, okay, let me put this into perspective for you. No Metroid game has taken me more than 4.5 hours to beat the first time that I played it, with the exception of Metroid Samus Returns, the 3DS remake. Every other Metroid game I've literally beaten in like 4 hours first time. I don't collect anything. I'll beat the game and it'll be like, congratulations, you collected 25% of the items. Like, they're not long games. And so the Prime games, you cannot play the Prime games that way. Every Prime game has multiple different areas where you have to backtrack like a dozen different times. And they're just, for me, they're just not enjoyable in that way. You have to stop, you have to scan everything. Samus walks really, really slowly for the most part. There's dozens of rooms where the rooms just fucking lock you in and you can't escape and you have to kill every enemy in it. And that happens so many times. In a 2D Metroid game, you're just blasting through every single room. You can go, so I don't know. I really haven't given them like a super fair shake. I've just fallen off of them multiple times every time I try to play them, and I'm like, these are just not for me, man. I've heard Prime 2 is the best one, actually. Multiple people have told me Prime 2 is their favorite. What's up, Hawka Gate? How you doing? I think a lot of people like Prime 2 because it's harder. I mean, Zero Mission's an excellent game. Metroid is so weird because it doesn't get like the same... Metroid is like kind of similar to Pikmin, where they just like don't make them a lot. There's like 4 Pikmin games. Pikmin 4 was an absolutely goated video game. Pikmin 4 was like unbelievable how good that game was. It was like shocking. Ruby will try to fix Other M's story. Other M, you can't just fix the story. The gameplay is also dog water. Other M is like so bad that it's like amazing that the other games are good. Like Mercury Steam gets a lot of flack because they have taken Metroid in a different direction than it used to be. Metroid is definitely more action than it used to be with the last 2 games. However, they get Samus's characterization so perfect. Stoic badass is like perfect, and like even I'm also a person who is like Samus mostly should not be talking, right? Samus should not be talking. But god damn, when she speaks in Dread, it's so fucking cool. Like that is how you do, I don't know, it's cool. Hey, don't be saying it like that. It's just I do not like Samus's dialogue in Fusion or I do not like Samus's dialogue in Fusion or in Other M, obviously. But I don't view Samus as like Link. Like Link is not a character, if you ask me. Link for the most part is a blank slate who is a silent protagonist. You are meant to project yourself to some degree onto Link. It like, to me, it's actually almost insane that they have not gender swapped Link or let you pick your gender as Link, because Link is not a character. His gender has no bearing on the series. You know what I mean? I guess Mario is the same, but still. But Samus is an actual character. Her games have a continued through-line plot. There is a story of things happening to her. She has one continuous plot. She has characterizations. They wouldn't even have to change the model. Yeah, I agree. I remember when Breath of the Wild first got revealed, I thought they were doing a female Link. So, Samus has a full through-line story. Events continuously happen to her, and even in the games where she doesn't talk, I would argue Samus has clear characterization, right? I would argue it's very clear that she has characterization based on the things that she does, right? The end of Metroid 2, Samus is supposed to kill the fucking baby. Samus sees the baby and is like, I cannot kill it. I can't do it. She couldn't do it. That was the point. That's the whole point of that story. And then she brings it to scientists to try and help the galaxy. She continues to work with the Galactic Federation despite the fact that they fucked her over multiple times. And not all of her dialogue in Fusion is horrible. Like, I think my favorite dialogue from Metroid Fusion is at the very start of the game, right after she's been cured of the X parasite with a vaccine made from the baby. And she just says, like, the dialogue is something like, I owe the baby Metroid my life twice over now. And it's like, I don't know, like, that's fine dialogue for me. It's really, the Adam stuff is really what I didn't like about Fusion, to be honest with you. The Adam stuff is just weird. It's like weird. I don't really get it. Like, I don't know why they put that in the game. I think I'm skewing early again. Even the Adam dialogue, which obviously it's not Adam in Metroid Dread, but like his dialogue in that game, I guess I can't say it because it's really not Adam for the most of the game. And if you're a good Metroid player, you called that instantly. I don't know if you guys did. It's both. What is your name? Is your name Fishbone? Is that weird spelling of fish? But in the intro, when you're on your ship, Adam, the computer Adam calls you lady, like he's supposed to. But the moment you're down at the core, the computer calls you Samus every single time, never calls you lady once. So once he was down there, she's down there, I'm like, this is not Adam. I didn't know what the deal was, but I knew it wasn't Adam. Everyone's just Goaty. It's supposed to be a 5 IV shiny. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was fish. I think I'm a seed early. Because I forget if the TI is supposed to be considered a ch pronunciation, but it kind of is. One more and I'll calibrate. One more and I'll calibrate. By the way, gamers, we are at 130 viewers, which is awesome. I really appreciate you all, but we only have 76 likes. If you're having a good time, please consider hitting the like button. It's free and it helps me out. And if you want to help me out a little more than that, you could consider becoming a channel member. It's only $1.99 a month, cheaper than a Twitch sub. You get access to my videos early. You get access to behind the scenes content like scripts and different revisions. You get access to events early if I make the events. You get access to a special chat in my Discord. And a couple of other things. Sometimes I do members only streams. You earned my like because you pronounced my name correct. Yay! Good content. I'm just EV training in black this morning. Very nice, Demetrio. Is this some kind of lore pronunciation? I don't know the full origin of the goatee fish thing, but I believe it is like in a way to show how like absurd the English language is by spelling fish, where it's like GH can be pronounced in the like the word cough, for example. I don't know where the O being as like an I pronunciation comes in at, but then the TI is sh in like catch something like that, right? Yes, I have done this before. Many people have done it before. What nature am I? Oh, I was one late again, wasn't I? I was exactly one. Women. Yeah, women, like fish. Nation, yeah, that as well. I was exactly one late. Fuck. Ever try wolf meat? It's bomb. I do not eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. Women. Try to go vegetarian and lasted a week. It's not for everybody. I wasn't really a huge meat eater before I went vegetarian, so it wasn't that difficult for me. I ate chicken a lot, and I ate pork a decent amount, but I basically didn't like red meat at all. And what? It only beeps. Whatever. Well, I never liked red meat. I never liked red meat at all. And so chicken is like kind of a thing with not a ton of flavor. You have to do all the seasoning yourself. And so it's like, it's kind of easy to take chicken recipes and put them in substitutes like tofu or tempeh. And then pork, yeah, pork was kind of hard to give up, but it's okay. Favorite cheese? My favorite, if you're talking like general purpose cheese, I would probably say a smoked Gouda. I would put a smoked Gouda on a burger, on an egg sandwich. I would eat a cube of smoked Gouda. Do I eat eggs? Yeah. I love eggs. But I like a lot of cheese. Like, I made a goat cheese pizza last week, where I put like honey goat cheese on it. So I really like goat cheese. Dude, I like a lot of cheese. I like a really good, like a sharp cheddar, the one with like the crystals in it. And I love that like with a cracker and guava paste. That's really good. Nice part about moving to where I did is it's like an ultra mega turbo vegetarian friendly here. I was actually a little worried Midwest would not be vegetarian friendly. I was incorrect. Yeah, it's because I'm in a college town. Two college towns, really, when you think about it. Did I like eating hamburgers, cheeseburgers? Nope, I fucking hated them. In fact, I eat burgers more than I used to because vegetarian burgers are delicious. I literally never used to eat burgers. I never liked them. If I'm at a barbecue, I would just eat 2 hot dogs instead of a burger. And like, I literally think any vegetarian burger is better than a beef burger. So it's like Beyond Burgers and Impossible Burgers, they're all right, but like they're fine. I like them and I will eat them, and I eat them when I go out for like bar food, and I find them better than a meat burger. But a good black bean burger, whew. No, Burger King. I can actually, Burger King's the only fast food restaurant currently I can order dinners at, because they have the fucking Beyond Burger. Normally if I go to a fast food place, I pretty much have to get an egg sandwich and hope the fast food chain serves all day breakfast. People who don't like sweet/salty combos are lunatics. Those are like insane people. If you don't like a sweet/salty combo, you're not a normal human being. I would go so far as to say this. I'm like allergic to pineapples. They make me sick. Most melons can make me sick. If I eat too much watermelon, it makes me sick. If I eat too much any of melon, it makes me sick. But pineapple makes me sick pretty much instantaneously, unfortunately. Do I eat mainly berries and bananas? No. My diet is like, I would say mostly eggs and tofu in terms of like the main substance, not counting vegetables. You can't do sweet and savory? Teriyaki is pushing it for you? What? Teriyaki's insanely salty. Like, I like a good ketchup or a good teriyaki. Yep, they work fine in tandem. I had no problems personally. But I don't have the new capture card. My capture card's like an old loopy one. that requires no soldering. So I don't know if it would affect the new capture card or not, but yeah. I lived in New Mexico for a couple years and I really miss good chips and salsa. I can't find any good stuff back in Michigan. We found a really good, authentic Mexican grocery store by me. And that's where we're able to get a lot of... Because Amanda is Puerto Rican. And so, like, for a while, we, like, kind of couldn't find guava paste. We couldn't find plantains. So I could make tostone. And... we found this grocery store that it has them both. That has them both for good prices. Okay. Brain fart. I've been one frame off 3 times this session. You're in a slightly more no man's land than I am, I would say, Kazin. I think I did drive through your town when I was on my way back from Wolverine. There's a video game store. Or at least it's a town I've heard you talk about. Wolverine is very up north. We drove... Wolverine is like 30 minutes from... it's a city. It's Mackinac City. We went up there for like an Airbnb for like an up north weekend to go hiking in mountains. And like explore some of the up northern cities. And... we took 2 different routes. One route, the first route we took... I think the first time we went up, we took the 75. But then we wanted to take a different way down. Yes, and then we took 127. Literally all the way down on the way home to get a different view. I want to say we stopped in Mount Pleasant because there was a video game store there. But it could have also been Alma, the town further south. I don't remember which town we stopped at. There was one in Mount Pleasant that we went to that was good. I can't remember what it was called. But it was a cute little store. I mean, it could suck for other reasons, but it was a cute little store that we went into. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know the people, so... The one we went into had a decent selection, and I didn't see any instantaneous red flags. Like, sometimes you just go and there's, like, insane instant red flags where you, like, go in and, like, the store has, like, a Let's Go Brandon sign, and I'm like, let's just not go into that store. Then we also stopped in Lansing on the way home. We stopped in Lansing for a yarn store and another video game store, I think. And then... I think we went to one game store. We went to two game stores in Lansing. They were both really good, actually. One of them was, like, really awesome. It was, like, true hole-in-the-wall energy. Oh, Sterling Heights. That's like North Detroit. North of Detroit. Having a stroke. Bought a Vectrex there? That's awesome. I saw a place with a Vectrex. Maybe we went to... Actually, maybe we went to Grand Rapids instead of Lansing. We might have gone out of our way to go to Grand Rapids instead for a yarn store. I can't remember which fucking place we went to. We, like, took, like, a whole roundabout pathing home. On purpose, to just explore extra cities. We took the 127 most of the way home, I'll tell you that. We might have just gone to Grand Rapids immediately after, we might have just gone to Grand Rapids immediately after Mount Pleasant just for a yarn store Amanda wanted to check out. Yeah, I don't remember what we did. We might have gone to Lansing. I truly can't remember, to be honest with you. I still haven't been to Detroit yet. We're gonna try and go to the Detroit Zoo for Amanda's birthday. Yeah, I'm not far from Detroit. Oh. I actually quite like the city I'm in, so... Brain fart. I had a full brain fart there. I closed the start menu on 5, and I forgot that I was on the TGTV. Sorry. We probably have like 2 or 3 more attempts. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please consider hitting the like button. We're almost at 100 likes. And if you really, really like the stream, you could consider becoming a channel member. It's only $1.99 a month. You get access to my videos early. There should be one coming out this week. And you get access to a special chat in my Discord and a bunch of cool emoji for streams and commenting on YouTube videos. Actually, the weird part is before I moved here, whoops. Before I moved here, I only heard bad things about Detroit. And now that I've moved here, most people seem to say that it's nice. I'm still skewing early on my seeds. I might just go uppies one. Oops. In Australia, really? I mean, I know racism and stuff isn't uniquely American, but still. Let's see what we've got here. One seed late. This is going to be the last run for the day. Here we go. I'm doing the one more attempt. This is my final attempt. I've been 1 frame off 3 times today, I think. Maybe 4. Definitely 3. You have to fucking clutch up. Dang. All right, let's see where we were. Whoa, what's going on here? See what we got. One seed early day. All right. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, probably with more Zapdos. Maybe I'll do Kyogre instead. Maybe I'll do a poll. We'll see.